Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Drusilla. Happy birthday to you. Yay! It's Drusilla's birthday. She is back and better than ever. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really happy to be back, and there's honestly nothing I'd rather be doing on my birthday than getting back to doing Bloodhouse with you again.
It's so
It's
good
been
to see
so
you.
long.
I know. I just really missed you a lot.
I
That's the
missed you
truth.
too. I was laid up doing a lot of nothing,
Yeah.
watching a lot of comfort movies and Christmas movies, and I was like, where's the horror? Where's the subtext? Where's the art?
Yes, this is Bloodhouse, the show where we talk about art house horror movies. I'm your host, Joshua Conkle.
And I'm your co-hostess, returning with the mostest, Drusilla Adeline. I'm very
More than
happy to be
ever.
back. Quite literally now.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Josh? What have you been watching? What are you up to?
Do you know what? I've seen some really cool stuff since we last spoke. I saw Glass Onion, which I loved.
I also saw Glass Onion, which I fucking loved.
I'm a Benoit Blanc stan. I want to dress exactly like him.
Mhm.
I want to look like a gay tennis player from the 40s, to quote Ghost World, which is his style. I love that he's canonically gay now.
And
Loved
has like the rom-com boyfriend.
I know, Mr. Hugh Grant. Amazing.
He bagged it.
And I finally saw Pearl, which I loved.
Oh yeah, shock of shocks.
Astonishingly
You would
good.
love. I told you.
Yeah. Michael Kennedy watched it after me and he's like, holy shit, her monologue. And I was like, Michael, I have to tell you, if you love that, you're going to love theater. That's what I think. Because no one ever sees plays, but then people will be like, oh my God, the monologue in Haunting of Hill House is like, have you heard of plays? You'd love them.
God.
But I loved it. But the one thing I really want to talk about, because I know it's one of your favorite movies, and I had never seen it, I watched Belle de Jour this week.
You'd never seen Belle de Jour before?
I thought I had, but I hadn't. I must have been thinking
honey.
of something else. I just loved it. And it happened to be, the timing of it was odd because I unfortunately had a viral tweet in a negative way. Viral tweet, derogatory, where somebody had tweeted about how they feel uncomfortable with the idea of safe words because no should be the safe word. And it's like, I get the spirit of this, but it's sort of like pretty anti-BDSM and like a really conservative.
That's a
And
really
so I
shitty
tweeted-
take. Flat
It's a
out.
shitty take. Yeah. And it's from somebody who obviously is a feminist and thinks of themselves as progressive. So not even calling
But does
that
not
tweet
engage
out.
with the BDSM community or
Totally.
scene. Okay.
Absolutely. So I tweeted, like, there seems to be all these people that think that they're progressives while being deeply conservative, and what's up with that, basically. And people got really mad and said that I, like, condoned rape. And a lot of people seem to think I was talking about cancel culture, which I wasn't, but that's fine. And anyway, so like that was going on in the background as I watched Belle de Jour for the first time, which is about a wealthy woman who decides to be a sex worker, basically to see what it's like.
And
bring
to
her
try
closer to her
and
husband.
fulfill her BDSM fantasies that she doesn't know how to talk to her husband about.
Yeah. And I was like, what would these people make of this film? You know, like,
Yeah, I people say all the time on Twitter that they really hope that all those like neoconservative, neoliberal Gen Z people who are really reactionary, that they really hope they don't discover John Waters movies because they don't know what they're going to make of them.
I think of that.
My thing
all the
is, I
time.
hope they don't discover Bunuel because oh fuck, oh shit, we're fucked.
Yeah, totally.
Bunuel is like one of the smartest, most beautiful, and funny filmmakers ever. I love his goddamn movies so much. They were my first like major art house obsession in high school.
Hmm.
Like Discreet Charm and Belle de Jour and Viridiana and all those movies I watched like freshman year of high school.
Yeah, I've seen Discreet Charm, and that may be the only one I've seen, because I swear to God I thought I'd seen this movie, and I haven't. I don't know
Well,
what I was thinking of.
I had the great fortune of seeing Discreet Charm re-released into theaters earlier this year. Had a hoot with it, and then last month, around this time, Belle de Jour played at the Los Feliz 3, and a friend of mine loves that movie so goddamn much. He was like, we have to go. So it was like, awesome, cool, let's go. We both had a hoot because we both love that movie so much. I mean, Catherine Deneuve is so gorgeous. Like, the depiction
Yeah.
of BDSM in that movie is so incredible. It's also so funny. It's so insane. And then, like, afterwards, I was like, man, I forgot how much I love these movies. I forgot how important these movies are to me. I
Mm.
should show you Viridiana. You'd love that. And then, like, 3 days later, the Secret Movie Club in Los Angeles was showing Viridiana. So I was like, well, let's go to that.
Yeah.
And she loved that. And now I'm just like, I just want to get back into all those Bunuel movies. I want to watch all those again.
Yeah.
His Wuthering Heights is fucking insane.
Oh my god, he did a Wuthering Heights?
In Mexico in the 50s.
Oh, maybe I've seen that. My
I
boyfriend
doubt
and I
it.
watched-
It's only been released
Yeah,
on VHS. It's really hard to find.
Okay, okay.
It is batshit. His movie Criminal Life of Archibaldo de la Cruz from Mexico is currently on HBO Max. It's really funny. The lead looks so much like Fred Armisen. It's fucked up and super funny. If you want like a 50s black comedy version of American Psycho, it's for you.
Ooh, I do want that badly. That sounds great.
With all of Bunuel's fetishes front and center. His shit's incredible and amazing. And I think I'm going to devote... I've already decided that I'm devoting a lot of December to revisiting art house movies and watching a lot that I haven't seen. I think the Sight and Sound list kind of kicked my ass, where I was like, oh, a lot of these I haven't seen, and I feel bad about it.
This was the week of Sight and Sound lists. Like, I mean, people are popping off about these.
I mean, it's once a decade. It's a big deal, but also like, there's a lot of big movies I still have yet to see. So
yeah,
it's kind of kicking my ass. In the next few months, I feel like is going to be a lot of time on me on the Criterion Channel, watching a lot of Satyajit Ray and stuff I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, perfect time for it.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you seen anything new and cool lately? You must have seen a lot because you're recovering from surgery, so keep it in your pants.
Well, my eyesight was really bad after surgery because there's a lot of swelling. So I didn't watch a ton of stuff other than rewatching a lot of Psych and Leverage because those are my comfort shows.
Shit, they should have done LASIK while they were in there. Like, come on.
I know, as long as I'm there. But I did rewatch a lot of like old school favorites with my mom while I was up in Oakland. And when I got back to town, I did go see Glass Onion while it was in theaters. It's fucking incredible.
Loved it.
I rewatched The Last of Sheila beforehand just to get myself in the headspace because it's one of my favorite movies, and Glass Onion owes so much to it. So
I saw that at the Egyptian a couple of years ago with Diane Cannon.
It's
there.
One of the
It's
best.
so
Diane
good.
Cannon's so good.
She's amazing in it.
But I rewatched a movie that I hadn't seen in a long time, and I forgot how incredible it was, which is the 1986 slasher comedy, April Fool's Day.
I knew you were going to say April Fool's Day. I had a psychic vibe about it. I love that movie.
I love
so
April
much.
Fool's Day. So here's the context. I've had the Scream Factory release for years now because I bought it because I was like, oh yeah, I like that movie, and then I haven't watched it since I bought it. And then friend of the show, Michael Verratti, told me about a new video store that opened up in Burbank called Be Kind Rewind Video.
Holy shit.
It's over on Magnolia by Porto's and basically the horror district of Magnolia Park.
Yes, I know it well.
It's like a rental store where you can rent new releases and classic titles, but also the other half of the store is just selling VHS tapes. And they have a big, lovely display at the back with like a little CRT TV and a nice little rug and a little like bit like 1980s basement vibe. There's like a high school locker off to the side with all these John Hughes movies and stuff in it. Oh my
god.
It's so precious and so fun. I bought over $100 worth of tapes, including April Fool's Day. They had so many great horror movies for sale on VHS, which is so hard to find. And immediately after I went home and I showed April Fool's Day to a friend of mine who knew nothing about the movie, so she didn't know the twist of the film. And oh my god, that movie's so fucking fun. So it's funny. So smart. What an incredible cast.
I mean, stacked cast. I actually have a painting of Deborah Foreman in my living room from that movie when she's being Muffy, or whichever one is like downtrodden and sad looking.
Yes.
I think it's Muffy. And I grew up loving that movie, of course. I had it on VHS as a kid. I had the novelization, which I did a book report on in 6th grade.
Well, I did a 6th grade book report on I Know What You Did Last Summer, so this is fair.
That makes sense. I was always very upset that the noose hair never shows up in the movie, though, from the VHS
From the
cover.
poster. It's so good.
It's so cool. You should do that for your hair, with your hair sometime.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Love that movie. What a great one.
It's so great. I also watched, also on VHS, just 2 nights ago, a Canadian horror comedy? I don't even fucking know. From 1995 called Blood and Donuts.
I've never even heard of this one.
I'd never heard of it. A friend of mine went to an estate sale, found this VHS, bought it on site based on the artwork and the fact that it's a vampire movie called Blood and Donuts. And then mere days later, it was added to the Criterion Channel under their vampire category.
Whoa.
It was directed by Holly Dale, who it seems like she didn't do a lot of other movies, but she's a Canadian independent filmmaker. It has such a 90s independent cinema, like post Jim Jarmusch kind of vibe, where it's
great.
like a bunch of weirdos and a taxi driver and a vampire who's been asleep since the 60s, all hanging out at a late night coffee and donut shop, while there's some like mob related hitmen up to some trouble. And what's gonna happen? It's really grimy and weird, and everyone's got like non sequitur dialogue, and strange things happen, and then it's over.
That sounds great.
It was a lot of fun, and it features a supporting part played by David Cronenberg.
Oh, wow.
As a mafia boss. He has 3 scenes, and they're all incredible, and the final one is one of the gayest things I've ever seen him do. If you ever want to see David Cronenberg get his face licked up and kissed on and sucked on by a vampire for entirely too long, this movie's for you.
I want to see that. I've been writing a juvenile delinquent film, which I've always wanted to do, and it's set in the 90s. And I've been listening to the Chuck Klosterman book, The 90s, which is just essays about the 90s. And so it's really top of mind. And as part of that, I've been trying to rewatch a lot of indie films from the 90s and just like cultural trust. I just met my boyfriend and I just watched Reality Bites, which was one of my favorite movies in middle school.
The definition of the 90s.
It's like the Gen X movie, even though Gen Xers hate it. I love it. And what a time. What an interesting time.
What a time to be alive. The 90s. I had 5 good years of it.
Yeah. I unfortunately had a few more than that. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's a very specific vibe to like 90s independent movies.
Yeah, people are smoking cigarettes, they're drinking coffee, and they're having like philosophical conversations and doing walk and talks. And that's
exactly. No one talks the way
way
that people talk in real life. There's an actor, like the lead actress is going to be someone you've never seen in any other movie, but she's the most beautiful woman in the world who has insane eyebrows, and you're like, yes, totally let her shoot someone in the face or something. I don't know.
And they have like really deep philosophical conversations about children's shows from the 70s or the career of Madonna or something that's like really insipid seeming, but they managed to turn it into something like deep and philosophical. And
then there's always a winking bit of humor to it and just a little bit of sexiness. And then it's going to have an ending that leaves it a little open-ended and a little melodramatic, and maybe someone is dead, but it's all going to be okay.
Yeah.
Man, I miss the 90s. God
Great
damn.
film decade.
Remember when you could make a movie for 20 grand and that was just like a thing?
Yeah, Robert Rodriguez style. Shall we get into this movie?
Yeah, speaking of movies made independent, like cheaply for very, very little money, but being incredible.
Yeah. I know that this is one of your faves. This is a movie I haven't seen in many years, so I was glad to rewatch it. From 1942, directed by Jacques Tourneur, produced by the legendary Val Lewton, it is Cat People.
Across the centuries comes this exciting story of a modern girl cursed by an ancient legend. A The legend of the cat people. Women whose kiss means death, whose love turns them into vicious, snarling beasts of prey.
Twice I've been followed by something that was not human, something that attempted to take my life. I believe that was the cat form of Verena.
Why should she wish to harm you?
Because I'm in love with her husband. It's shut, Belle. Just a minute ago, it was open.
Now, this is one of your favorite movies. Go off a little bit. When did you see this, or how did it enter your life? Why do you love it so much? Just freestyle on it for a sec.
I fucking love me some goddamn cat people. I love 40s horror and 30s like Hollywood horror a lot, as you may know. I mean, if anyone's listened to our episode on the other Val Lewton movie, The Seventh Victim, I've already talked about my obsession with that era of horror specifically so much, but these movies, these Val Lewton RKO horrors, have such a huge place in my heart for what they did on their small budgets and for the level of like melancholy and ennui they stuck into modern gothic horror in such an incredible way that hasn't been matched since. But Cat People is the first of them. It's the one that kicked everything off. And it's odd because I had never seen it. And in college, a friend of mine gave me a laser disc of it for my birthday one year. Even though I'd never seen the movie. And I was like, cool. Okay. Dope. Thanks, man. And then I found out that Laserdisc release had been released on the day I was born.
Ooh,
the dude did not know this when he got it for me. And so I was like, okay, funky, weird. I finally watched it. I thought it was overrated. I thought it wasn't scary or effective. And I thought it was fine. But it stayed in my brain, and I watched it again, and I liked it a little bit more, but it still felt overrated, and I couldn't get the rhythm of it.
Yeah.
Still didn't really get it. And then I watched it a third time, years later, literally under the covers of my bed. I turned all the lights out. I pulled it up on my fucking iPhone, which, like... Okay, David Lynch, you can drag me for that, but still. Wait until I finish this anecdote. Kept it, like, as close to my face as possible, so it, like, everything was dark except for that. It covered my field of vision. And it scared the ever-loving fuck out of me, and I had a huge emotional response to it, and I, like, cried during the ending of it. And it's become this weird... obsession of mine, and I love it so much. I relate way too much to Simone's character Irena. I have kind of reclaimed Cat People as a trans film, and I will get into that in a minute because it super fucking is.
You're not alone, though. I know a couple of trans girls who are like big horror people who also feel this way about Cat People. So it's in the work. People have other trans girls have picked up on it.
It's very, very much in the text, if not like literally. It's really, really wild. We'll get into that into a minute when we get into the plot of the movie. It's fascinating to me how in the 40s they did something that inadvertently every trans girl I know who sees this movie is like, you did what? What about you, Josh? What's your history with the Cat People?
Oh, I mean, it's not interesting. I saw it once many years ago, really liked it, and this is my second viewing. So not very interesting. I do love the movie. I just rewatched the remake from the 80s last year when it was on the Criterion October collection. What I was going to say, though, since you brought up how strange these movies from the 40s are, we did talk about this on the Seventh Victim episode, but we can't expect everyone to listen to every episode. So very quickly, the context of these movies is that Universal had these huge hit monster movies in the 30s, like Frankenstein and Dracula, and RKO Pictures thought, like, we should have that. So they hired Val Lewton to do the same thing for RKO, but instead he made these crazy arty-farty horror movies.
The
like
insane thing, too, is that the only reason that they decided they should make these cheapo horror movies is because they lost so much money on Citizen Kane and the Magnificent Ambersons. RKO lost so much money on Orson Welles. They put out a studio mandate that was like product, not art.
No art.
and
this
then,
movie reused sets from the Magnificent Ambersons, too. That was part of the deal as well.
The big staircase, yeah. They reuse all of Orson Welles' sets for cheap, spooky horror movies. And somehow they're as, if not more artful than the Orson Welles films.
And this movie in particular, the execs were even like, you gotta make a movie called Cat People. That'll get butts in seats. So they made this whole movie like based around the title, and it's still like
almost all of them were based around the title or like a poster, and they're like, all right, go off and make it. Like I Walked with a Zombie. They're like, we have this title. We bought the rights to the title I Walked with a Zombie. Go make a movie. And they make like this Emily Bronte level gothic romance. They're incredible. These movies are awesome.
So they're entirely different than the 30s Universal monsters, which is great, and we love those movies too, so it's not a knock on them. It's just like so interesting that the brief was to like recreate the success of those movies, and Val Lewton just took like a very wild swing with these.
I mean, it's genius, and it's Cat People specifically has been celebrated for years, ever since it came out. So it came out in 1942.
And tomorrow is its anniversary, Drew. Did you know that?
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah. Speaking of weird anniversary dates and like dates lining up, this premiered December 5th at the Rialto Theater, 1942. That's
Cat
tomorrow.
People is a Sagittarius, and
It
this is nearly my birthday. That's incredible. That's amazing. That's actually really spooky. Okay.
80 years old tomorrow, as of this recording.
Oh my god. But it's been celebrated for so long for like creating what so much of modern horror is built around in the mechanics of building horror. There's jump scares in this movie that establish the concept of certain kinds of jump scares.
They used to call it the
Luton bus.
The Luton bus, because there's a jump scare created by a bus entering the frame in this, and that was the first jump scare, really.
Yeah, ever. And the concept of like never actually truly showing quote unquote the cat people is really important, but this is something that like this movie, it wasn't like a cult thing that got rediscovered over the years. It was a huge hit when it came out.
Yeah,
this was like a critical and commercial like people went in droves to see this movie, and like 10-15 years later, in the big MGM Vincent Minnelli, Kirk Douglas like Academy Award nominated drama, The Bad and the Beautiful, there's a whole, which is about people making movies in Hollywood, there's a whole subplot about them making cat people, basically. About how about the genius of making cat people, like 10 years after the movie was made. Like, it's been like an industry standard horror classic the entire time, while also like sneakily being one of the artiest movies Hollywood ever made. I love it so goddamn much.
I loved it. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So what the fuck's it about, Josh? What happens in this movie? Who are these cat people?
Well, in short, this follows a young woman named Irena, who is a Serbian immigrant to New York City. And when we open, she's at the Central Park Zoo checking out the panther exhibit when a handsome young man approaches her and flirts with her. And they quickly fall in love and get married, but she can't kiss him or be intimate with him because, as she tells him on their first date, she comes from a village that was overtaken by invaders, and over time the people of her village became witches and Satan worshippers and were eventually driven out. And these were women who, because they were witches, transformed into cats whenever their passions were riled. So for that reason, she can't kiss or make love to her own husband, who is trying his best, but eventually falls in love with his co-worker, Alice, and they kind of plot against Irena, and it all ends badly. Anything to change or add to that?
I just want to add two things, which is that her husband in this movie is played by Kent Smith, but his character's name is Oliver Reed.
Oliver Reed, which I love.
I love so much. Which, whenever I watch this movie, I'm always in my head supplanting Oliver Reed, star of Daddy himself, star of The Devils and the Brood, as her husband. And wow, I want to see that movie.
Yeah.
And there is also... So this movie also apparently takes place in the same cinematic universe as The Seventh Victim, because we also get Tom Conway, the brother of George Sanders, as Dr. Lewis Judd, as a kind of evil, conniving psychiatrist. So this movie came out 2 or 3 years before The Seventh Victim, in which The Seventh Victim would bring back... this character, despite the fact that, spoiler alert, he doesn't make it out of cat people.
Yeah.
So yeah, The Seventh Victim, a prequel to Cat People. I'm glad we did them in this order.
It used some of the same sets too, right? Don't they use the same staircase again in Seventh Victim?
They use a lot of the same... those big, lavish RKO sets that Orson Welles had built get a lot of use in these movies. And
also, none of these are
for that.
filmed in New York City either. They're all filmed at Gower Studios, which is RKO Studios in Hollywood, which is now right by... Wikipedia says it was filmed at Gower Gulch. That's not accurate. It's Gower Studios. Gower Gulch... for people who don't live in LA, is the most fantastic place ever on Sunset Boulevard.
It's a Western-themed strip mall.
Yeah, it's a strip mall that's made to look like old-time Western town. It's fabulous.
It's
so this was not filmed there. It was filmed at Gower Studios.
Gower Studios, which has now been absorbed into the Paramount lot. So the stages that this were shot on then shot episodes of all that in the 90s. So that's a good thing to know.
Yeah.
So what's so fucking trans about this movie? Well, you have this, you have Simone as this girl who's constantly being identified as being the other the whole time, for being an immigrant and for being different and for not being like the other girls. And that's why Oliver Reed likes her so much, because she's just different. There's something about her that he just can't put his finger on. And she has a, like, innate, maybe justified, maybe not justified, fear of actually being sexually intimate with him, because if she does, he's gonna find out something about her that's going to lead to violence.
Interesting.
And then, because she refuses to, because of that paranoia that she has about her own body and being intimate with him, she starts to become paranoid of the straight-laced girl next door, obvious cis girl that he works with, and starts becoming jealous and paranoid of their relationship, because, he's just gonna choose the girl next door over her, because she'll put out. It's super fucked up and and then there's also the, Dr. Judd of it all, of that, she gets sent to therapy because of her issues with her body and with sex.
And she's also not paranoid. This woman, Alice, is in love with her husband and is making moves towards her husband. It's successful. They become a couple, and he tells Irena that he's leaving her for Alice. And there is a plot against Irena with this psychologist to, like, put her away. Like, the psychiatrist says to the husband, like, you have two choices. You can put her away or you can divorce her. But you can't divorce somebody who's insane, so choose carefully.
Yeah, the whole plot of this movie is a husband and a psychiatrist conspiring to 5150 his wife. Like,
yeah. I was looking at like critical appraisals of this, and someone compared it to Rosemary's Baby and said like this is like a precursor to films like Rosemary's Baby because you have normal people in an urban setting who are dealing with the supernatural. And I thought that was a really great comp, actually.
that would be a killer double feature.
Oh,
One of my other
totally
favorite moments in this movie, which clocks it all for the trans scale of things, is at their wedding party, which they hold at
a Serbian restaurant.
A Serbian restaurant. Which I hope that restaurant is called a Serbian restaurant in reference to a Serbian film.
It's called the Belgrade, actually.
Yes.
I only know that because of Wikipedia, but...
But while they're celebrating and everything, a woman she does not know and has not met clocks her, calls her sister, and walks out.
In Serbian, she says "moja sestra," and she's shook, and everyone at the table is like, "What did she say?" And she said, "She called me sister." And that woman is so fucking glamorous and cool looking, and it's the only moment you get of her, and it's like, oh, I want more of her.
Like actively upsetting. She never comes back.
It's the like, best.
What's her story? She's dealing with the same thing in New York City, circa 1942.
Yeah,
where's her film?
Well, she seems to have embraced it to some degree because she calls her sister, and she's like it's almost like an invitation, you know, like
it really so cool. Feels like a stealth girl getting clocked.
Yeah,
by someone who isn't stealth. Like, it's like Val Lewton never could have known.
Yeah,
what the read of this movie would be 80 years later. But you know what, sir?
I mean, I related to it as well as just a queer person because it's like she has this side of her that she has to repress because it's dangerous and scary. You know, like I think a lot of people can relate to that for various reasons. Well, not to take it away from trans people, but...
No, you're right. And even like you were mentioning Belle de Jour earlier, this would make a killer double feature with Belle de Jour because it's both about women who are feel shame about their sexual desires because they feel that their sexual desires are more outre and more wild than the man and their relationship, so they feel that they have to hide that from them. Which is so upsetting. And so scary and so fucked up. And like by contrast, Belle de Jour has the happier ending.
Yes,
which is insane considering the ending of Belle de Jour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie looks so beautiful. It's in black and white. The lighting is really expressionistic. Almost like German expressionism.
Well, it was shot by the famous cinematographer Nicholas Murazaka, who shot who is like the reason why film noir looks that way.
Yeah.
He and the director of this movie, Jacques Tourneur, would go on to make what I consider the film noir movie, Out of the Past, with Robert Mitchum and Kirk Douglas. That, for me, is like hands down the best film noir movie ever made. His level, his lighting, his cinematography, his use of shadows and atmosphere. There's a sequence in a pool.
Gorgeous.
And Cat People, which is one of those gorgeous things ever filmed. The use of the light and the refractions off of the pool onto the ceiling in the darkness is so fucking terrifying.
So good.
We also get a really, really fun use of animation in this movie, too. Which is one of the most 40s things in it, where we get, like, a very spirally hypnotic moment with animations of leopards, like, walking towards the screen, which is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah.
I think it's incredibly lush and stylish and fun. Cat People is insanely stylish. Like, they put so much of their effort into making this a visually gorgeous and sumptuous movie.
I was thinking about how much this would make a really sophisticated, earnest musical, the stage musical.
Yeah.
like if you got one of these like really cool composers, it does feel like a play in some of the best ways. It kind of reminded me of like Tennessee Williams in some ways, because she lives in this apartment by the zoo, which like when the windows are open at night, she can hear the call, like the lions mating, and she can hear the call of the female panther, which sounds like a woman screaming. It's just got off the wall vibes. Vibes for days.
Vibes for days. She also just wanders through the zoo at night when it's closed, and they leave the key in the leopard cage, and she's just gonna like mosey on around. Even the Luton bus sequence, the sequence of Alice walking home alone at night, just clacking her heels down the pavement. That's the only sound you get in that scene.
Yeah.
Is heels on like cobblestone pavement in like Greenwich Village, New York, circa 1940s. And it's so beautiful. And she only gets hit in the stray bits of light from whatever street lamp she's passing underneath. She looks so good. It's such a stressful fucking chase follow sequence. Like, so much of modern horror is in the DNA of cat people. So much of the idea of the monstrous feminine is in this movie. So much of the methodology of what we now know is like the James Wan Blumhouse kind of like knock knock scare boom stuff is straight from cat people. So much of the A24 art house explanation of things is from this. So much of Hitchcock comes back to cat people. Like, he ripped this movie off that was being made while he was making Strangers on a Train. Like, come on.
Simone Simon, who plays Irena, was a French movie star. This might be her first American film. I can't remember.
This was her first American film, yeah.
Val Lewton actually said, like, we need somebody who's like a Simone Simon type, you know, cuddly and sweet seeming. It doesn't seem at all dangerous. And so they ended up just getting her. But apparently she was quite a nightmare on set. Very temperamental. She, at some point, poured coffee onto her own costume with the express purpose of delaying production. She fought with the director a lot. I can't remember the actress who plays Alice, but she would purposely like block her in scenes, and she just seems like a total nightmare. So
Jane Rudolph,
thank you.
Jane Randolph.
So she ended up going back to France. And I was like, I don't know why Americans thought I was so temperamental.
Well, she did come back 2 years later to America for the sequel to Cat People, Curse of the Cat People.
Yeah.
Which
is like a Christmas movie or something.
Which is a Christmas movie about a young girl coming of age. It is a children's Christmas film, which is fucking psycho, and it is about Oliver Reed and Alice, Jane Randolph and Kent Smith returning, are now married and live in the suburbs, and they have a daughter together who is weird, and she's not like the other girls, and she doesn't relate to all the other kids in the playground, and no one gets her. And she finds a photo of Irena that was like buried in a drawer somewhere, and becomes obsessed with it and starts seeing maybe the spirit of Irena or something out in the yard that's like becomes her imaginary friend and starts guiding her. And her parents are like really freaked out by the fact that she's like, yeah, my friend Irena is talking to me. And they're like, how do you know about your dad's first wife that we don't talk about?
Yeah.
How do you know about this lady? And then there's a big old spooky gothic mansion at the end of the lane in their little suburban neighborhood where an old lady who used to be an actress lives that everyone thinks is a witch, but she's just a sweet old lady who wants to hang out with this little girl. It's really, really sweet, and it kind of follows the transcoding of the first Cat People, and again deals a lot with the monstrous feminine, but from a child's perspective, and the idea of like it's got a much kinder perspective towards female psychology. And Curse of the Cat People was actually like shown in med school for like 20 or 30 years to people training to be child psychologists.
Oh, interesting.
It's like really good.
Yeah.
And it was directed by Robert Wise, who made The Haunting and West Side Story.
Wow. Do you know who really stuck out to me in this watch is Teresa Harris, who played Minnie, the waitress.
She's incredible.
It's a small role, but she just immediately was like, first of all, she's so beautiful. And second of all, she seems like a movie star, which I know she wasn't because she was Black in the 40s. So I looked her up, and she had an incredible career considering her race and the time period. I mean, she's been in the 30s. She had to be in all these movies where she was like a maid or a sex worker or like an African tribal woman. But it specifically called out how Val Lewton gave her like pretty good for the time, non-stereotypical roles for a Black woman, such as this, where she is a waitress, but she seems to be friends with the other characters, and she's funny and pretty and just seems like a real
She's got a
person.
life of her own outside of the narrative of the film and outside the other characters. She's pushing that gumbo. She's so great. Val Lewton did a really, really, really great job of prioritizing actors of color on screen, which is really underrated. So Teresa Harris has a great part in Cat People. She's also in I Walked with a Zombie, which is very much set in
like voodoo themed, right?
Yeah, and it's set in a colonized island in the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. And it like actively deals with the scars and traumas of slavery. Yeah. Like there's a whole interesting like monologue that Tom Conway gives in that movie about a battlement from a slave ship that's been turned into like a memorial and monument in the center of the town, and how like, yes, we're like the one white family that lives here, but like it's our job to also like pay respects to this horrible fucking thing that happened. And it's like a very wild moment to be happening in a 1943 horror film from America, but it's incredible. And the entire supporting cast of that movie is a great section of actors of color. And Sir Lancelot is one of the best actors in that film, who gets a great bit of on-screen performance and like leverage to his character. And he ended up getting brought back for tons of other Val Lewton movies. He's in the sequel to Cat People, Curse of the Cat People. Val Lewton brought him back for The Ghost Ship. He kept trying to get these actors more work into other things, because he knew that, like, yeah, we're doing a film set in the Caribbean, so we're going to get a lot of these actors. We can't allow them to not get other jobs. And he's fucking incredible. And he sings a song in I Walked with a Zombie that will haunt you for the rest of your goddamn life.
Ooh, I really want to see this movie now.
It's incredible. I Walked with the Zombies, painfully underrated. It's one of the best movies ever made. There's no such thing as a bad Val Lewton movie. But Teresa Harris had an incredible career. She was in some of the best movies ever made. Jacques Tourneur brought her back for Out of the Past. She was in Orson Welles' The Lady from Shanghai. She was in
Gold Diggers of 1933, which is a great movie. She
was in Miracle on 34th Street, which everyone's going to be watching in December anyway. She's in The Women. She's in the Marlene Dietrich movie Morocco. She has a great role, an incredible role in the Barbara Stanwyck movie Babyface, as like her best friend. And it's kind of implied that they might have a relationship a little bit. She was in some Marx Brothers movies. She was in some of the best noir movies ever made. She's had an incredible career and does not get enough credit for it. But specifically,
especially considering the time. Yeah, I mean, as soon as she showed up, I was like, holy shit, this is a movie star. And I had never seen her before, and she has a really small role, but I just instinctively knew, like, this woman should have been a movie star. And really, she kind of was, all things considered. I mean, what a career.
The way that this movie feels so lived in and so built out, that the way we're even talking about her character and the other woman in the restaurant who calls her sister for one scene, and the way that we want to follow all of these other characters is so measured and thought out and put together in such a beautiful way. Like,
I mean, there's even a scrub woman in their office building who is a fully fleshed out character that's charming and funny, and the man who works at the zoo who's like an evangelical Christian, and like every single character is given a rich life in a way that is not typical of any movie of any era.
It's almost as if Val Lewton was a novelist before he started making movies. And knows a lot about writing characters.
Like yeah.
Curious.
This is not a double feature episode, but I would love to talk for just 5 minutes about the remake in the 80s. Because I want to talk about Paul Schrader. That's the truth. So there was a reimagining of this in the 1980s by Paul Schrader. And it had music by David Bowie. I saw it for the first time, and I think you did too last month because...
Oh, no, I saw it back in high school. I saw it before I saw this version.
I see. I saw it last month because it was on the Criterion Halloween collection this year. And it's very cool, very different. But Paul Schrader has been top of mind this week because he had a Sight and Sound list. And
he had some takes on the Sight and Sound list as well.
He had some takes on the canon. So
very white supremacist takes.
Which was like, hey, people are complaining that the canon is all white men, but film is mostly historically a white man's game. So, of course, the canon is white men, which isn't really true. And so people have been talking about him, and I texted this before Drusilla and I got on mic. This is a tweet thread now deleted by the musician. Well, maybe I shouldn't say their name since they deleted it. But
it's already been out there. Everyone's already seen this.
Okay, well, this is John Lurie, who is of the band The Lounge Lizards, which is like a 70s, 80s novelty band.
And the star of many a Jim Jarmusch movie.
Yes, and an actor as well. So Chris Stein of Blondie was making a demo with The Lounge Lizards in 1979. We had pulled all our money together and bought a tiny bit of cocaine. Debbie Harry bought Paul Schrader by the studio. He saw our precious pile of cocaine that we were saving and snorted all of it. I was at a party. I opened the refrigerator. These are 3 different instances, by the way, of meeting him. So this is number 2. I was at a party. I opened the refrigerator to get a beer. There was only 1 beer left. As I reached for it, someone pushed me out of the way and grabbed the last beer. It was Paul Schrader. Number 3. I was outside something or other. I was about to smoke my last cigarette. Paul Schrader asked if he could bum a smoke. I said, I only have 1 left, and showed him. He said, that's okay, and plucked it out of the pack. I have only met Paul Schrader 3 times, and these were them. The star of the remake was Natasha Kinski, who Paul Schrader fell in love with and planned on proposing to, but she disappeared immediately after production, and he couldn't find her for 3 months. And when he finally tracked her down and told her how he felt, she said to him, Schrader, I fuck every director that I work with, and you made it really difficult. But basically, wanted nothing to do with him. So that's Paul Schrader in a nutshell.
Yeah, he also, so the 80s cat people eschews the very, like, queer trans vibes to Irena's cat people heritage and changes it to incest. In that cat people can only mate with other cat people. And Malcolm McDowell plays Natasha Kinski's brother, and he keeps being like, we can only mate with each other. We can only mate with each other. Come on. You want to fuck your brother. That's the whole movie. And then John Hurd from Home Alone is the zookeeper who's like, nah, it's okay. I don't mind that you're a cat person. I'll just keep you in a cage the rest of your life. Things will be great.
Yeah.
A Paul Schrader film. A shame, because he made some really good movies. I love Mishima. Mishima's a great, queer, gorgeous film about the Japanese author Yukio Mishima. But
I think he's a better screenwriter than he is director. That's my hot take on Paul Schrader.
Yeah, well, the great work of Mishima is the work of the cinematographer, so we'll say this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude sucks. The best thing about his cat people is that we get the Giorgio Moroder soundtrack and the Giorgio Moroder remix of the David Bowie song Putting Out the Fire with Gasoline, which the version on his Let's Dance album is fine. And then when Giorgio Moroder gets it and slows it the fuck down, it's incredible. And that's the one that everyone knows because it was used in Cat People, and Quentin Tarantino put it in Inglourious Bastards for some reason. Because that man's a maniac.
He's a maniac. Shall we pivot to Have They Seen It? The game where we speculate wildly whether or not notable figures have seen Cat People?
Yes, I will note really fast that Paul Schrader hadn't seen the original Cat People when he was given the job to direct the remake of Cat People. And when Martin Scorsese found this out, he got really mad at him and brought over his personal print of Cat People and made him watch it.
You can always count on Marty. People get mad at Marty, but Marty's never wrong.
Bless you, Marty. We love you, sir.
I have somebody, all the talk about like this as a trans narrative made me wonder if trans actress Jamie Clayton has seen Cat People.
Ooh, I don't know if she has. I don't know what her history with like old school horror is. I hope she's seen it, but if she hasn't seen it, hit me up, Jamie. I love you. Come over. Let's watch Cat People.
If I was a photographer doing a photo shoot with Jamie Clayton, wouldn't it be cool to dress her, to do a shoot inspired by the Belgrade restaurant with her as the Serbian woman who says Moje sestra?
I was going to say...
She would look really great.
Yes. I was going to say, though, the sequences of this movie where Irene is kind of like lounging on the couch by the fire, doing all of that with Jamie Clayton, I would... happily do, because I love, there's that great photo shoot that they did with Sarah Michelle Gellar where she's recreating like Dario Argento set pieces. I want to do that, but Jamie Clayton recreating Val Lewton set pieces.
Oh my god, so good.
Hey Jamie, I have this great photo shoot idea, hit me up, let's do it. Oh my god, this movie's fucking incredible. It is such a foundation of modern horror, and so much of modern horror owes so much to it. And we've learned a lot about this director recently because of his Sight and Sound list being released, and a lot of people are kind of making fun of it for being very American-centric and very Film School 101. But we've also been celebrating his latest film because Pearl's fucking incredible. Do you think Ty West has seen Cat People?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And I mean, I do think that his list was very 101. It's true. But also, so what? I mean, you're going to argue that those aren't good movies? Like,
I'll argue that 2001 A Space Odyssey is a bad movie until the day I die. But other than that...
I love that movie. I love
trash.
That movie.
It's trash.
And I just can't argue with those choices. They wouldn't be my choices. I do think they're a little bit basic, but I think that he's a man who knows a lot about movies. You can tell from his work. And I do think that I believe that those are genuinely his favorite movies and the movies that he thinks are the best films of all time. Like, I don't know. Twitter is like the only place where people could be mad about something as mundane.
It's universally like agreed upon as Lawrence of Arabia, good movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think he's definitely seen Cat People. I think he is a fan of Cat People. I mean, you watch X and you watch Pearl, and it's like kind of obvious that this man knows what he's doing, and this man knows old Hollywood, especially old Hollywood horror. Yeah, Pearl really leveraged his love of 40s Hollywood
40s movies through
in the best
through,
way.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
So we talked about Paul Schrader. Paul Schrader directed a movie that was huge the year that I was born. Call Me by Blondie was the #1 song in America the week that I was born. By the way, I also have a birthday this month. So I want to know if star of American Gigolo, Richard Gere, has seen Cat People.
No way in hell.
Yeah.
Richard Gere is not cool enough to have seen... Well, okay, what year... He would have been born in, like, the 50s, Richard Gere?
I guess so. I mean,
I want to say...
American Gigolo is 1980.
He's around my
like
dad's
adult,
age,
but
I think.
Young?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's seen it. But there's a possibility that he caught it on late-night TV as a kid or something.
Mm-hmm. Do you have the sense that Richard Gere is not cool?
Richard Gere and Kevin Costner in my head are the two most bland white men in the world, and I have no love for either of them.
I don't have any particular love for Richard Gere either, although he is he was so extraordinarily hot in American Gigolo, a basically unwatchable movie. It's like, other than him being really hot.
Yeah, him and Blondie are what get me through that movie. Well, and again, Georgia Moroder soundtrack.
Yeah. A movie that goes out of its way to be like, he's not gay, don't worry, he's not gay, like over and over again every 5 minutes.
Yes. Paul Schrader is very homophobic in that way. So, you know what, as long as we're on the subject of super hot men who starred in questionable Paul Schrader films, here's a cooler person who was in some great 80s horror films and some great contemporary horror films. And he starred in Paul Schrader's follow-up to American Gigolo, Light Sleeper, a much better movie with Susan Sarandon, and David Spade. Do you think Willem Dafoe has seen Cat People?
For sure.
If he
My
hasn't,
gut
I feel
says
like Robert
yes.
Eggers made him watch Cat People on the set of The Lighthouse.
Totally. I feel like Willem Dafoe's first movie is The Hunger. Like, how could he have not seen Cat People? I can't believe that there's any world where Willem Dafoe hasn't seen Cat People.
I'm sure that there were like long conversations on the set of Shadow of the Vampire between Nicolas Cage and Willem Dafoe about their love of Val Lewton movies. I'm sure that's a thing. I know for a fact that Nicolas Cage loves this movie. Like, I don't have to have any evidence to tell you that Nicolas Cage loves this movie. That man loves old school horror so much.
Yeah, he also loves New Orleans, where the remake is set and filmed.
I inadvertently watched a lot of New Orleans horror movies in October.
I love New Orleans so much, but I feel like I can't ever go there again in sobriety because I just had so many incredible drunken weekends, lost weekends in New Orleans.
That's kind of the point of New Orleans, I'm led to believe.
Yeah. It's such a great city, though.
I've always wanted to go. It's the top of my bucket list. I grew up eating nothing but Cajun and Creole food for so much of my life that, like, I need to fucking
really
go.
Feels like you are not in the United States. It feels like you're in Argentina or Europe or somewhere. It's just like its own completely different culture, and it's gorgeous, and the people are nice, and it's fun, and the food is great, and it's a great city.
Fucking God bless New Orleans. I need to go.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully soon.
Yeah. That is it for this episode of Bloodhouse. If you liked this, please rate it on wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can email us at bloodhousepod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram, bloodhousepod. Drusilla, where can people find you these days?
You can find me over on Letterboxd. You can find me on Instagram at HydeSister. And you can find me at my website, which is sisterhydedesign.com. Lots of fun art over there and some new stuff coming soon. What about you, Josh?
I'm at Joshua Conkle at Twitter, on Twitter, rather, and Instagram and Letterboxd. Bye.